So it's the beginning of another vlog, and I'm here again with my intentions for the week. And yes, this is different week from last week, but it's the same intentions. I want to finish The World of Yesterday by Stefan Zweig. I'm about 60% through. Let's see, I'm on page 247 of 408. And I'm going to read some of this tonight before I go to bed. I'm just really love how relevant this still is today. He's writing this 80 years ago. And I would really wish he hadn't died, because if he had seen the world today, well, I think he'd be disappointed in the world as it is today, but you know, in like the 90s, pre 9/11, post Cold War, you know, seeing the European Union and, you know, seeing people comfortable with sexuality and, you know, burst in new writing coming about, like, I think that would really excite him, and it's such a sad thing that he died in the 1940s. And I'm making leeway in this biography of Rufus Wainwright. He's still a teenager at this point, so I wonder how much they're going to cram into this last part here. And then I want to read another about 200 pages in The Dead House Gates, because I want to finish it this month. And my audiobook is going very well. I'm still listening to An Unrestored Woman by Shobha Rao, and I'm gearing up to finish that. I think that's actually a pretty short book, so I'll be picking another audiobook later this week. I'm really happy to be blazing through those. So that's it for this week. That's it for today. And I'll see you throughout the week.
The room he was shown into was large and opulent. It smelled of sandalwood. There were silk divans and pillars of carved teak wood and a floor of polished marble. Toward one end was a sort of dais, on which the old man, his legs useless from a polio infection, was seated.
So it's Tuesday, and I just got back from seeing Little Women, and that movie is just, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's takes the book and the life of Louisa May Alcott and just does wonderful things with it. Yeah, if you haven't already, go and see it. And, you know, I'm not already reading a bunch of books. Currently have 3 on the go, but I'm craving something different, so I picked another book off my shelves, and I'm hoping this is something kind of light and not as intense, so let's see what it is. It's not one of the newer wrapped books. Oh, it does look like it's going to be a little intense, but maybe not too bad. It's this. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see the title on the screen. So it's The Whale Rider by Wuti Ihimera. It's a New Zealand story about, this was made into a movie. 8-year-old Kahu craves her great-grandfather's love and attention, but he's focused on his duties as chief of the Maori tribe in Wangara on the east coast of New Zealand, a tribe that claims descent from the legendary Whale Rider. And there's controversy because she's a girl, but she strives to be the next Whale Rider. So that seems really cool. I really like the design on there. Hi, so it's Wednesday, and I just came across a passage in The Dead House Gates that I wanted to talk a bit more about. But before I do that, I'm going to start with talking about The World of Yesterday by Stefan Zweig. Now, I realized my problem with this is that Stefan Zweig is such a beautiful writer, but he also comes from such a place of privilege that he's able to travel the world freely and, you know, cross war-torn countries to go put on a play, and he talks about the war and how he's trying to unite the nations back together through literature and such. And it just like, I don't like his view and that he doesn't realize how privileged he is to not be conscripted, to have a choice not to join the army. And it really came to light with a passage from this work of fiction. So there's a war going on in Deadhouse Gates, and I came across this passage. Never mind the games of the ascendants, which are like the gods almost. This is what we are, the endless struggle laid bare. Gone is the idyllic, the deceit of self-import, as well as the false humility of insignificance. Even as we battle wholly personal battles, we are unified. This is the place of level earth corporal. That is its lesson. And I wonder if it's an accident that deluded mob in gold threads must walk in the wake of these wagons. So they're walking through the wounded and the dying and the sick, after just having come from the camp where the nobles are. And it just, that passage, you know, they're unified in their illness and their sickness. That's humans laid bare. It's not this beautiful writing. So I don't want to DNF this, but I'm very close to it because, not this, but The World of Yesterday. Because however beautiful the writing is, I really can't get past how privileged Stefan Zweig was. And it's a little irritating, if I'm honest. I'm already 60% through, and he still has another 30 years or so to talk about. And I don't know if I can put up with him constantly referencing all these famous people that he knew and how he knew them and how good they were and how good he was. And yeah, it's kind of starting to grate my nerves a bit. I think that's why I'm not going to pick it up. Yeah. So I'm calling it, I'm DNFing The World of Yesterday. So because I DNF'd that one ebook, I'm going to pick another ebook to read. Because I think that would fulfill my requirement of reading one ebook a month, but I kind of want to finish an ebook a month. So we're going to go random, and we're going to ask Google, hey Google, give me a number between 1 and 12.
3.
So I'll go to page 3 of my library here. 1, 2, 3, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books on there. Hey Google, give me a number between 1 and 5.
4.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. I know a lot of people love this book. I have not read anything by her. Book 1 of the Seven Waters trilogy. I saw 7 there and I'm like, oh please not 37 books. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it's about besides that it's a fantasy. It's minus 13. We had an ice storm last weekend, so the trees are so beautiful. I'm just gonna roll down my window because it's tinted here, so you can see how nice it is. I'm actually one of the few people that likes the cold. So I just finished my audiobook, An Unrestored Woman, and I don't have another one because I didn't think I would finish today, but I know which one I want to read next. I believe it's called Plum Rain, and I can't remember who it's by. It's about a woman working in Japan as a caregiver when she's all of a sudden replaced by a robot. And that really appeals to me because that's what my job is, except it's in my hometown, not over in Japan. So I just finished reading this awesome comic called Kabuki by David Mack, done in 1997 to 1999, I believe. And it's about this secret agent who's put into a mental institution for secret agents who have gone mad. And it's about her people trying to get her to escape. And it is so cool. The art, and you have to actually look for the text in pages. at times because it's not very obvious. It's incorporated into the art. And, you have to turn the pages around in order to read some of it. There's one action scene that's done as a board game, and you've got to rotate the book as you're reading it to see the actions that's going on, and it's really cool. I'm almost done with The Whale Rider, so I asked my brother to pick out another book for me, and this is the one he chose for me, so I'm just gonna open it, and it looks Russian. You can tell by looking at the person on the cover. This is Summer in Baden-Baden by Leonid Tistpin. The newly married Dostoevskys, Fyodor the great novelist and his youthful wife Anna Grigorevna are on their way to Germany for a trip that will keep them abroad for 4 years. So it's technically Sunday. I spent all day yesterday actually just cleaning, so I didn't take the time to film how the wrap-up of my week. But I decided to DNF the world of yesterday and started a new ebook, Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. I read 1% of that, so I haven't really been going for that because I've had some other goals in mind and I've been really busy this week. I read 25 pages of this a day, and I am now at 584, page 584, and I think there's like just 250 pages left. And if I keep up with that 25 pages a day, I'm going to be done this by the end of the month. More than halfway through The Whale Rider by Witi Ihumera, and to be honest, if I just sat down, I could probably polish off those 50 odd pages in under an hour, because this is really easy to read. I'm really enjoying the story. It's about a Maori family in New Zealand whose history comes from the Whale Rider, and for all of their history, they've passed down the chiefdom from father to son, father to son, father to son, except now there's no son to pass it down to. There's only a daughter, and the grandfather's not very happy about that, but the granddaughter has some special things about her. It's really good. And because I'm so close to finishing that, I asked my brother to pick out a new book, and that's Summer in Baden-Baden, or Baden-Baden, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, by Leonid Tistpin. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that either. Translated from the Russian by Roger and Angela Keyes, with an introduction by Susan Sontag. And I'll talk about this more in next week's vlog, because I haven't even cracked it open yet. That's just the next book I'm going to read. So that's it. Oh, no, that's not it for Saturday. I also finished my audiobook, An Unrestored Woman by Shobha Rao, which was very good. It's probably one of my favorite books of the month. And it's a series of short stories about people in India. And I said throughout this vlog that they had LGBTQ bents, but they don't all have that. But they all have to deal with sexuality, which is quite interesting. It's more not just sexuality, but more about like the relationships between people. And they're all very good. I enjoyed like most of the stories. I can't think of one off the top of my head that I really didn't enjoy. So yeah, that's it for this week. And editing Courtney here, and I completely forgot about the comics I read this week. You'll see I put a preview of one issue that I read, and that was from this comic called Kabuki by David Mack. He was both the artist and the writer. I'm trying not to get reflections in there. It's this beautiful comic of this girl who, I don't know if there's going to be any nudity here, hopefully not, of this girl who's like a secret agent, and she gets placed into this mental institution. That's not blank, it's not going to show up. There we go. Into this mental institution for secret agents, and she's trying to escape. But there's, of course, other stuff going on. And that was really good. There were 9.5 issues. One was a special release, just kind of background story. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. It's probably going to be one of my favorite comics of all time because it's so experimental with the way it's done. And then I read the first issue of The Ride by Wagner, Hilliard, Hughes, Martin, and Dukeshire. And I read it because of this person on the cover. She's not in the story. She's actually in the preview comic. So I'm not going to be continuing on with this because, like, first of all, deceptive cover, and second of all, I didn't really like either of the stories. So yeah, here we go.